This is day 2 on the CDT. I've hiked about 35 miles so far. All I can think about since stepping foot on this trail is how I really don't want to be here, and I don't think it was a good decision to come out here. I've been in a really bad place mentally, and it is coming out in full force on this trail. I've hiked 2 very long trails, and I was excited and anxious and all the things to start those trails, and I have no excitement to be here. I was dreading it for weeks leading up to it, and I just came out here really mentally unprepared. And anyone who has thru hiked any trail will know that thru hiking is at least 75% mental. You know, to do something like this, you have to have some really, really strong reasons to be out here. And I didn't have any. I didn't have any reason to be out here other than I thought that, that this was the natural order of things, and that I expected it of myself, and that for some weird reason I told myself that other people expected it of me, and were gonna be somehow disappointed if I didn't do this, when in reality no one's asked me to do this or even suggested that I do this, and so that's just all made up in my head, and so since that was really my only reason for being here, it's a pretty shitty reason, and that's definitely not going to keep me here. I've never quit anything really in my life ever, so to be making this decision really does kind of feel like a huge failure, and I don't know how I'm going to handle that, but I just know if I stay out here, I am going probably to die out here, because I'm just not doing okay. I can't stop crying. I'm sobbing as I hike the whole time. I don't have an appetite. I can't keep food down. I'm just not eating, and when I do, I just throw it up because I can't stop crying. And it's just a disaster. And yeah, you know, I feel like I kind of had a little bit of a death wish coming out here, and was pretty indifferent about dying. I didn't really care about myself, and I can tell you that aimlessly walking around in the New Mexico desert is a really long and rough way to go out, so not recommended. Yeah, I just feel like I have a lot of work to do, and for like myself, and that the trail is not gonna help me with any of it. It's just gonna make matters worse, unfortunately. Yeah, so I'm sure by the time I post this, I will probably be home, but yeah, Okay, so this is day 3 on the CDT, May 3rd. Even though I quit yesterday, I still have to walk out of here. So I have about 9 miles this morning until I reach a highway where I'll hitch into the nearest town, and then JR is going to pick me up later this evening. I gotta say, the 9 miles this morning have felt really good. I feel like I'm making the right decision. Yeah, I really do. Maybe I'll change my mind one day. Maybe I'll want to give this another try. I doubt it, but guess what? It'll always be here. And so just because right now is not the time, doesn't mean it's the end. I've been thinking, a lot about when you hike a lot of these trails and you keep trying to find longer trails, quickly so much of your identity just gets wrapped up in this idea of being a thru hiker. If you're a thru hiker, you hike long trails, you have to continue to hiking long trails in order to, reinforce that idea to yourself and other people. And you can keep hiking trails, and keep saying, I'm a thru hiker. But for me, I don't know about other people, but for me, it gets to a point where you're just walking to avoid the bigger question of, if I'm not a thru hiker, then who am I? That's sometimes way scarier than trying to walk a couple thousand miles. I definitely think that was something I was avoiding and came out here just so I wouldn't have to answer that. But the truth is that I'm still a thru hiker. I still did the AT, I still did the PCT, and no one can ever take that away from me. That's my accomplishment. I own it. And the world is a lot bigger than trails. There's a lot more I can be doing with my time that's still adventurous, etc. And doesn't have to involve, wandering around the desert. I've also been thinking about how, when I hiked the AT, I was 22, and I really didn't have anything to lose. Honestly, I had a lot of reasons for being out there. I actually carried a paper list of reasons why I was hiking the AT, and it was pretty long. It was answering questions, like, why are you doing this? Second, if you finish, what does that mean? Like, who will you be? The last and most kind of important and terrifying question is, if you quit, what will that feel like, and who will you be? And man, those lists were long, and I carried them the whole way to constantly remind myself why I was out there, because it's all mental. You really got to know why you're out here. When I went into hiking the PCT, I was 26. That list was a little bit shorter. Some of the things were the same or similar, but it definitely wasn't as strong. And I was kind of worried going into the PCT of not having like this really strong foundation as to why I felt like I needed to do this. I did well out there. I finished. I got really competitive with myself, and it kind of became a game. I did it fast. It was 105 days, which is really well, because that's where I was searching for fulfillment. I was like, maybe I don't have a really strong reason for being out here, but I'll be the fastest woman out here. That became the goal. And I'll tell you that when I finished, it was definitely not as gratifying as the first time. It was mildly disappointing, actually. You spend a lot of time thinking about the grand finale. I didn't feel as accomplished as I thought I would. I didn't feel as proud of myself as I thought I would. It was weird. And then I kind of convinced myself, well, it's just because you don't have the Triple Crown. You still got that one trail hanging over your head. You know, you got to do that trail, and then you'll feel accomplished. Then you'll feel like you really did something. What I've realized since being out here is that, yeah, I can walk these 3,000 miles. I can walk from Mexico to Canada again. But getting the Triple Crown, this imaginary title, basically, that a very niche percentage of the actual world even knows what it is, it's not going to feel as gratifying as I expected to. I'm going to feel disappointed. I know I am. And it's weird to realize that and be honest with myself about that, but that's the truth. That's a long way to go, and realize that once you get there, it's just not gonna be everything that you want it to be. And that right there is enough of a reason to just not do it. And you know, in life, priorities change. I'm 28. I have like a wonderful little family at home. I have JR, you know, the most supportive and loving partner in the world. I have a 15-year-old dog. It's not going to be around forever. I got 2 rats that I would die for. They've already lived half of their lives. And to be out here for 5 months away from them is soul crushing, and it just feels selfish. It feels like that's the most important thing to me right now, and you know, I can't afford to miss out on that time. Time is fleeting. You know, I can punish myself and be out here alone for 5 months going after something that's probably not going to make me happier than I am right now, or I can go home and invest in my relationships and friendships and connect with people, because I think I need more of that in my life. One of my favorite books is Into the Wild. You know, it's a true story. Anyways, you should look it up. But this guy ended up dying in Alaska, out in the wilderness. The last thing he writes in his journal is, happiness is only real when shared. And I really do feel that. I'm tired of being alone, choosing to be alone, feeling like if I'm not doing something hard, then I'm not being successful in life or something. I'm really hoping in these last 9 miles out here that this like heavy weight, this burden of expectations and pressure that I just build and put on myself, I'm just gonna leave that here. I don't need to constantly be trying to one-up myself or prove something to the world. It's okay to just be a normal human being. It's okay to not have a direction sometimes. And I just need to feel that for a little while. And I need to be okay with that feeling. And I have no doubt good things are to come. Who knows what they are? And that's okay. But yeah, it's gonna be totally fun. There's a lot of strong hikers out here this year. They're killing it. They're gonna do a great job. CDT hikers are gonna have overall a successful season. I'm happy I got to meet a handful of them. And yeah, it's Amanda signing off. Last time. Happy trails.
Here. Hoo-ha, hoo-ha.